Welcome to another installment of American Hunter's Sunday Gunday. This week we're going to think outside the box that holds traditional hunting rifles and take a look at the Steyr AUG. Now before you click the close button on your browser, hear me out. I've hunted with several guides who carry the AUG as their everyday camp, truck, general utility rifle. They've told me there are two main reasons they prefer the AUG. It's compact and it's rugged. If you're looking for an alternative to the AR platform rifle, which has already established itself in the field for varmints, hogs, and even deer, the AUG may serve you well for the same game. The AUG looks like it came right out of some sci-fi movie set in the future, but the design is actually 40 years old. The first version of the AUG, which is an acronym for Army Universal Gewehr, was adopted by the Austrian Army in 1977. Since then, the gun has served military and law enforcement personnel in more than 30 countries, including the United States. Over the years, Steyr has made multiple updates to the AUG and introduced several variations. The most recent is the AUG A3 M1 I have here, manufactured in Alabama by Steyr Arms. One thing that has always set the AUG apart from other designs is its bullpup configuration. The action is behind the trigger. This makes the AUG shorter than most conventional rifles. The A3 M1 version, with the 16-inch barrel, is just 28¼ inches long from buttstock to muzzle. That's 4 to 8 inches shorter than a typical M4 style carbine with the 16-inch barrel. If you're going to be carrying a rifle all day, especially in rough country or thick brush, you'll appreciate the AUG's compact design. The A3 M1, like most iterations of the AUG, is chambered for 5.56 by 45 millimeter and will fire .223 Remington just fine. Its semi-automatic action feeds from a detachable box magazine and cycles via a short-stroke gas piston that drives dual operating and guide rods linked to the bolt carrier. The gas piston has two settings, one for normal use and another for firing in adverse conditions or when the gun is extremely fouled by dirty ammo. On the left side of the receiver, a crescent-shaped tab serves as the charging handle. It locks into a notch to keep the action open and does not reciprocate while firing. Changing out the AUG's standard bolt for one that ejects to the left and swapping the ejection port cover to the opposite side makes the rifle more compatible with left-handed shooters. The A3 M1 is available in two versions. One accepts proprietary Steyr waffle magazines, just like the original AUG design, while the other accepts standard AR-type magazines, which is the version I'm holding here. The magazine release is a large ambidextrous lever located behind the magazine well. A large rectangular button above the trigger serves as a crossbolt safety. The A3 M1 receiver is investment cast aluminum and the stock is polymer. You've probably already noticed this version of the M3A1 has an integrated optic. It's a fixed 3-power scope made by Mayopta. The A3 M1 is also available with a similar 1.5-power scope. The top and right side of the optic housing have integral Picatinny rails for mounting a small reflex sight and other accessories. If you'd prefer a different optic, Steyr Arms offers two other variants of the A3 M1 with short and long sections of Picatinny rail mounted to the receiver. These four optic and rail options are interchangeable. Instead of a traditional forend, the AUG has a folding vertical foregrip. This, along with the compactness of the gun's overall design, makes for quick handling in tight confines, which is exactly why the guides I mentioned earlier take it with them in the field. Although the AUG A3 M1 we tested had a trigger pull weight of 10 pounds, a heavy trigger is a drawback of almost all bullpups, the trigger was crisp. Using the 3-power optic, we got 5-shot groups that averaged about 2 inches at 100 yards. The AUG may not be intended for precision at long range, but its design will make quick work of critters up close. The MSRP of the A3 M1 with the 3-power optic is $2,599. The versions without an optic have an MSRP of $2,099. If you want a gun that's easy to maneuver in a coyote setup and one that will surely turn your buddies' heads, take a Steyr AUG A3 M1 along on your next varmint hunt. For more information on the Steyr AUG family, visit SteyrArms.com. And for more Sunday Gunday, any day of the week, check out AmericanHunter.org.